Stuff like that. It's like so you start realizing like, because children are innocent. They don't understand the dynamics of race and all that. It's like you're taught that. So, I started to realize like, hey, I'm not, something's different. Then when I'm with my black friends, it's a lack of respect there. It's a, oh, you a white boy. Or, they want to test you, thinking you a punk or something like that, I realized with my white friends, there was nothing you could do to get them to look at you different. You always gonna be black. With your black friends, you knock a couple people out, and there's a certain type of respect there.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up culture to be in, but it's like, once they realize like, okay, this nigga with the shits, then there's a sort of admiration there.
Yeah.
And I kind of fell in line with that.
All right, here we go. Yo, what up, though? Mr. Silky Slim in the building. What's good?
What's going on with you?
Hey, man, I'm glad to have you, man.
Man, I appreciate you having me. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all, it's feel good to be around ism.
Yeah.
Because I kind of crown myself the greatest trick of all times. So
the greatest trick of all time.
The greatest trick of all times, man.
I'm going to have to interview you next on that one.
Hey, there we go, man. Because, when you get around P's, and then sometimes I get a chance to interview hoes. Like I got one I'm going to interview tonight, straight off the blade. I guess she lost her P or whatever. Mm-hmm. And, she talking about, I watch her post on like Instagram.
He passed away or she lost him?
I think one passed away and one they just split up, I guess.
Oh.
So, she posted and I missed the blade. So I was like, tonight, man, I'm going to get my soft white underbelly on and get her story. But I feel like if I could get the pimp side, then I can hear the whole side. Then I can find where the discount lie. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So, as a trick, we just try to find out where the discount at.
Oh, this is, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. This is a research piece.
Yeah, it's just a research piece, man. But no, I appreciate you sitting down with me. Definitely a dope artist. You know what I'm saying? Music going crazy. The No Jumper interview with you and Sharp was great. I was taking notes. I said, discount right here. You know what I'm saying? I'll be trying to figure it all out from the trick perspective, man. But give me the upbringing, man. Where you from? What is life from Mr. Silky Slim?
I'm from Palmdale, California. For those of y'all that don't know, because when I'm in LA, everybody know where Palmdale at. But when I'm across the country or something like that, I just have to say it's about 45 minutes north of LA. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm from Palmdale, California. And, I had a decent upbringing. I played sports. I played ball, everything you could think of. I ran track. I boxed. I, played baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I was an athlete growing up.
Okay. And now, growing up, did you grow up in like a traditional two-parent home?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had both my parents.
Well, what was your parents like?
Well, my mom, she white. My pops is black. So, I had a unique perspective at the time. You know what I'm saying? And, when I got we moved to Palmdale, I was fairly young, and it was a lot of white people there, so, I didn't grow up really understanding race.
Gotcha.
Because I had a black, my mom white, my pop's black. So, there was love in the household. So I didn't really understand race and all that, you know what I'm saying, until you start experiencing, racism and things like that. So, that was kind of like my upbringing. They both worked, they was hardworking, and I appreciate them for everything they did. And the way that they, at least, I'm not gonna say at least, but the way they raised me,
Gotcha.
to be a responsible adult. 'Cause I realize a lot of the times, when somebody doesn't have a father in the home, they lack discipline.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of discipline, and that's one thing I'm thankful for. Shout out Pops.
Have you ever heard of Jesse Lee Peterson?
No.
So Jesse Lee Peterson is a controversial pastor from he live out in L.A. Dark-skinned dude, he loved Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. But he says that the reason why black people are doing so bad is because men are being raised by their mothers, and so they have a mother's energy, and that women are naturally evil. and that Satan is their daddy. And so when a man grows up with anger, he has his mother's nature, but when he finds God, he takes on his father's nature and he gets rid of the anger and he's less angry, and that the father is supposed to be ruling over the mom. So in your household, did your father rule over your mom?
He definitely had the last word, but you know, my mom, she had a lot to say so too. It was respect in the home. You know, there was respect. You know, it wasn't yes, she did bring him his plate, when he came home. You know, she did do most of the cooking and the cleaning and stuff like that. But she was also very respected, and he relied on her a lot, to help him, with business ventures and other things. That my pops, he was a hustler, so he'd always have his hands in something. He worked for a living, but he didn't want to work for nobody.
Gotcha.
So he always was doing this and doing that, and my mom was a big part of that. Helping him. Whether it was accountant, whether it was, she played her position.
Gotcha.
And there was a mutual respect there.
Do you feel like your mom obeyed your father?
Obey? I wouldn't use the word obey. She had something to say, she was gonna say it.
Gotcha.
It wasn't to, sit there with your head down and be quiet,
Yeah.
It was, she was gonna speak her mind, and, he was gonna have to take that into consideration, because she brought a lot to the table,
Gotcha.
Women don't understand a lot of the times, you got to be more than just pretty, and with a nice body and fucking sucking all that shit. If you really bringing something of value to the table, you will be respected. Your opinion will be respected a lot more, because, I need this information. If you somebody that have some wisdom about yourself and have some game about yourself, I have to value that opinion. But if all you talking about is this is what I cooked tonight and get the house clean, I mean, I could cook myself. I could clean up my goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? The pussy ain't good, how many times you gonna hit the pussy before it just becomes like regular? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, so it's like, but if you make yourself valuable, if you make yourself valuable, and not always monetarily, sometimes it's just, with knowledge. If you make yourself valuable to somebody, they got to respect you more.
No, that's real. Now, you mentioned racism and growing up being a biracial person. Where did you first ever experience racism? Did you ever experience it from your mom's side?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really want to go into some of those stories, because family business is family business. But yeah, I mean, and then, it'd be like little things. Like I'd be at my friend's house sometime, and, somebody would lose something. Be all white kids around. Somebody would lose something, and they come up to me, hey, do you know her? Like, why y'all asking me?
Damn.
You start noticing stuff like that. They parents, oh, your hair is so cool. Stuff like that. It's like so you start realizing, like, because children are innocent. They don't understand the dynamics of race and all that. It's like you're taught that. So, I started to realize, like, hey, I'm not, something's different. Then when I'm with my black friends, it's a lack of respect there. It's a, oh, you a white boy. Or, they want to test you, thinking you a punk or something like that, I realized with my white friends, there was nothing you could do to get them to look at you different. You always gonna be black. With your black friends, you knock a couple people out, and there's a certain type of respect there.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up culture
but
to be in, but it's like, once they realize, like, okay, this nigga with the shits, then there's a sort of admiration there.
Yeah.
And I kind of fell in line with that.
Now, you said you grew up, you was playing sports and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever an ambition to take sports to the next level, like collegiate, pro, anything like that?
Well, I ended up getting a football scholarship to Fresno State.
Okay.
I never really wanted to go to the NFL, though. I'd rather own the Raiders than play for them. That was always my thinking as a little kid. It was like, playing ball was fun. I loved playing, the sport, but I loved playing all sports. But once it became a job, I never wanted to work for nobody. My livelihood is based on me following your instructions and me showing, it's just, I didn't love it enough. I had friends that was on the team and they know the stats of this person and that person. They would know this person's name and what this person did, and I didn't know none. I didn't pay attention to none of that shit. It was like I treated ball like school. When school's out, I didn't go study and shit. That's not, I study what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
But it was like when football was over, it was over. When I'm done with practice, it was over. I wasn't thinking about it until I showed up the next day. And I was just naturally good, so I excelled. And I worked harder than everybody. While I was on the field, I did work hard. I did, push myself and push the people around me. Because I always want to be great in anything I do. But no, I didn't have the passion, the love for the sport to continue.
Got you. No, that makes sense. Now, when we get to the game, like the ism, shout out to Rollo.
Yeah.
Rollo is a regular guest on here. I had a chance to interview Pimp and Caprice.
Okay.
And when we hear this game, like, I was shocked to see that it's a whole different world. Like, I realized, like, whenever I think of, like, Pimpin' and Owen, I see the stereotype of it or the caricature of it. But, like, hearing, like, Rollo's stories and seeing that world, he was like, man, y'all got your own culture. Like, this whole pimp music, this ism music, I don't know what to call the genre.
Right, PimpHop.
PimpHop, there you go. But like that shit make you get in your bag. Like because normally the closest I feel like I got to PimpHop before I discovered PimpHop was maybe Rick Ross. But even Rick Ross more on the trick side. It's more the...
Who said Rick Ross?
Yeah.
Out of Miami?
Yeah.
PimpHop. I would never associate him to... He's a D-boy to me. I mean, as far as the music he go, I would never... Well, I never put him in that side of it.
Well, what I mean by Rick Ross is he'll talk a D-boy shit, but then he'll talk about that fly shit, that shit that you put that shit on, you feeling classy. That's the closest.
Right,
but once
right,
I throw on PimpHop,
right.
Like this shit make you want to get a glass of cognac. This shit make you want a nice cigar. Nigga want to make sure your car shined up. Yeah. You want to put on your best. You know what I'm saying? Like discovering that culture was a shock to me because I never knew it exists. Right. And again, my whole friends, they even, I'd be like, what y'all listen to? They was like, most of the time we listen to the game.
Right.
Like, and I was like, the rapper, they was like, no, nigga, like about the game. We listen to like rappers, pimp rappers. We don't listen too much to mainstream.
Right.
And I was like, wow. So tell me, how did you get into that world? Were you introduced to it?
I was at Fresno. I was in Fresno, and I stopped playing football, and I was just trying to figure out what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
Was I gonna go get a job? A regular traditional job. You know what I'm saying? Was I gonna be out here hustling or trying to sell this or break in that? When you're 17, 18 years old, you really don't know what you want to do with your life.
That's real.
It's like, you try things, don't work, okay, you're trying to find what fits. And I was just natural at it, I don't want to tell, I'll tell you the story about how my first bitch chose up with me. This is an exclusive.
Okay.
I mean, real niggas know, but, as far as putting it out there, I was really going to sell some drugs. I was broke. And the things I was doing, I was hitting, things, I was getting some money here and there doing that, but I was really going to sell some drugs, and on the way to go sell some drugs, I ran into a hoe. And she changed my mind about going to sell the drugs. So that's how I got to the game.
Do most pimps really get put on by the hoe in a lot of cases?
I wouldn't say that. Some people that have family or something like that that's been doing this and they kind of know about it. I always thought that I was some ism even before I knew what ism was.
Gotcha.
I was always a player. I always had bitches doing this and that. I was still breaking on shit. It was just, I wasn't doing that. But I always had bitches and they always knew about each other. And, it wasn't like my transition into that lifestyle wasn't a major transition from the lifestyle I was already living.
Got you.
I just learned how to monetize it.
How did you get put up on game, like as a mentor, somebody that kind of raised you and showed you the rope? Like, how did you learn it?
I wouldn't say I really had a mentor. Like I said, it was just, you know, hey, I'm about to go get this money. I thought you was gonna take me to go get some money. Bitch, you better not be playing with me because I really got some money to go get over here. I'm not playing. So it was just, okay. And it was kind of like a learn as I go thing. And through that, you know, you meet different people and you know, some people they put their arm around you and, you know, you learned this. You know, I was one of them niggas. I was young. You know, I was like 18, you know, in Hollywood. And it was a nigga named Prime Minister. He was trying to knock me off. But he was also giving me game because he was trying to keep me close to him so he could knock me off. Because I didn't really, you know, so he's like, you know, okay, well, oh, you ain't working over here? Oh man, no, come over here at 2:00. Okay, then we're gonna go over here at 10. Then we're gonna go over here at 2. You know, and he's showing me how to work all these areas. You know, basically he's setting me up on his program. He's setting me up to work his program. You know, we're gonna stay at this hotel. You know, but I don't know shit. So, but I know he's trying to knock me off. You know, I know that much, but I was learning so much, I didn't really care.
Not knock me off, meaning he was trying to take your girls?
He was trying to get my bitch, yeah.
Got you.
He was trying to knock me, he was trying to, you know, he was trying to get her to choose up with him. And I knew what he was trying to do, but I was getting so much game just that I didn't really give a fuck, you know? Yeah. It was like, shit, the shit that I'm learning right now gonna last a lot longer than this bitch anyway. That was my mind frame. And I could cuss on this, right?
No, you good.
Okay, and
it's a Christian show, but still.
Yeah, real Christian nigga.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like that. It was, you know, and then I smartened up, right? And realized that a lot of niggas, they didn't want to give you no game. But they'll cuss you out about some shit. And through that cuss out, we call it a chopping in the game, you know, or roasting. You know, you're roasted. Through that roasting, they'll give a, nigga, what you were supposed to do is. So I used to intentionally say little shit to piss niggas off. I'm a little 18, nigga. You know, I'm 18, nigga. I'm intentionally saying little shit to piss niggas off so niggas will roast me so I can steal some game.
Hey, that's smart as hell.
Hey, shout out promoter Pimp and Young. It took him about 10 years before he realized what I was doing.
Now I saw that you got back in contact with what was his name?
Prime Minister. Yeah, he calls him Primo Velasquez. Yeah.
So I saw that you lost contact with him, and a couple of months ago got back in contact. What is it like now? Him seeing you as a legit to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Becoming this part of just an entertainer altogether.
Man, he's so proud. You know, he's so proud of me. He out there in LA right now, and you know, I haven't been back out there. So, you know, well, I have been, but I haven't been to where we could link up.
Yeah.
But we definitely gonna link up, and you know what I'm saying? I really want him to come around and do some of these interviews because people got to see him, man. He's still one of the coldest niggas, man, that I know. You know, and I wouldn't necessarily classify him as some stomp down ism.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want people to get that confused. I think people think, oh, this nigga Silk learned a lot from him. He must be the greatest pimp ever. No. It's not that. He just got game. He's sharp, you know, and he wear many hats. But yeah, we talk, and you know, he tell me how proud of me that he is, you know, and you know, I told him how I appreciate everything he did, you know, because it also, yeah, he was doing some slime ball shit. He was trying to knock me off, but you know, it's a it's a great introduction into what that lifestyle that you're getting into, so you understand what it is.
Yeah. So
you understand what you're getting yourself into. You know, it's not the same rules as the drug dealing game or gang banging. You know, it's different rules, and you got to understand exactly what you're getting yourself involved into if that's the life that you choose.
Had you ever been knocked off before?
No. I've never had somebody call me up and actually like, yeah, man, I got the bit. Like, I mean, I've had niggas call me after I ain't, you know, bitch been gone for a couple months or something, you know, then she go fuck with somebody, nigga just want to call me, just, you know, maybe it's a courtesy, maybe he just want to talk to me, whatever the case is. But I've never like expected somebody to come home that night.
Yeah.
And I got a phone call from a nigga, you know, saying, yeah, I got the trap, man. You know, that hasn't happened. Not saying that it can't. Well, it can't now because I'm, you know, that's my past life.
Right.
You know, I'm not, you know, involved in the streets like that, you know, like I was, so.
Now, had you ever had to make that call?
Plenty of times.
The first time you did it, was you like, hell yeah, I'm about to call it? Are you excited to make this phone call and let this dude know? Or what's the mindset?
I can't remember the first time I made that phone call. You know, it's happened a lot of times.
Oh, shit.
But you know, you always geek just by the situation. You know, the excitement of the breaking. Yeah. You know, the excitement of the, even if she only stayed for a couple hours, you know, or you know, a couple days, a couple months. You know, it's still just the, you know, it's like scoring. You know, in basketball. You know, yeah. But I'm always respectful. You know, a lot of times, you know, this bitch will feed your ego and make you think that you know, you get to treating other people bad behind this woman.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you know, this bitch gonna be long gone. Did you create an issue with this nigga over this bitch that's come and going? You know? So it's like, I'm always respectful. I always, you know, call niggas and tell niggas, you know, hey, you know, just what's going on, and you know, best of luck to you. You know?
In the pimp world, amongst other pimps, like, you know, in the gang world, it's a lot of violence. Drug world, it's a lot of violence. But within the pimp world, amongst pimps, is it really that much violence? Because it seems like y'all kind of pride yourself on being gentlemen.
It not as bad as those other worlds that you mentioned, you know, but it's gotten worse over the years, I believe. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, yeah, you know, it's, you know, violence for what? You know, yeah. For over this, you know, we not supposed to do that. We not supposed to be, you know, we supposed to be gentlemen. We supposed to be, you know, upstanding. You know, you supposed to use your mind. You know, usually physical things happen when you ain't got, you know, when you're not using your mind. You know, there's nothing else to say. And a lot of times, you know, if you some ism, how you ain't got nothing left to say?
It's real.
You know, we supposed to be playing chess. We supposed to be, you know, competing of the minds. We're not supposed to be competing like this. You know, that could happen though. And, you know, I'm not exempt. You know, it's been certain times that, you know, because a lot of times what niggas will do is niggas will do some little bitch ass shit and then fuck around and use the, you know, hide behind the pimping. Oh man, we pimps, we not supposed to be. And nigga, you disrespectful on some man shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, if a nigga disrespectful on some man shit, nigga, if this got something to do with the game, oh yeah, I'll pop it with you all day. You can roast me all day. This got something to do with the way I'm doing, but nigga, you not gonna like call me no bitch ass nigga and then when I take off on you, be like, oh man, we peas. No, it don't work like that.
Yeah.
You know, you don't do some more slime ball ass motherfucking shit, you know? And when I say slime ball, I don't mean try to knock me off or something like that, but you know, you be having niggas setting niggas up and doing weird shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we not about to do that. It could go however you want. You know, we still street niggas at the end of the day. You know, the P never standing for punk.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, that's not something that we glorify or take pride in even, you know, I could beat your ass, you know, or I could shoot you or whatever. It's just, you know, that's not the direction we trying to go.
Now, is it against pimp etiquette? Like, say your partner, like, you know, you got your guys that you cool with, you know, back in that time. And do you try to knock your partner girl?
We have a saying. A lot of these niggas that's watching this know this. When the pimping begin, the friendship end. So, I mean, my thing is, it's not against the rules to knock your partner off. I just know if you my homeboy, now I'm not just talking about a nigga that I know. out in the streets that I see because we down every day. You know, those are like colleagues.
Yeah.
You know, them is like, you know, we see each other at work pretty much. But I mean, if you my friend, we going out having drinks together, you coming over my house, you know, you didn't came, you know, if you trying to knock me off, I'm not gonna try to kill you behind it. We just not friends. I just, like, you just letting me know, you know, how you feel about our friendship. You know, I'm not about to be trying to knock my homeboys off. My homeboy, because like I said, because I done seen it. And I done been on both sides of it. You know, just being young in the game, I done been on both sides of it. You know, I done had my homeboys, you know, end up with bitches that I was having, you know, and I came up on my homeboys' bitches, and it doesn't feel good on either side of that.
Yeah.
Even when you get your partner bitch, because it still feel like some slime ball shit. You know, and then, you know, this bitch probably gonna blow. You know, and I'm not just saying that because she a hoe. You know, just most relationships don't last. I don't care if you a square, whatever the case is, just, you know, relationships happen, you know? And so now this bitch gone, and now you don't never have that same friendship with your homeboy again, because he can't trust you, because the whole time you kicking it with him, you know, you know how you just vent to your partner sometime, you know, yeah, man, and then the bitch gone whoop-de-whoop-whoop, and he going around telling the bitch what you to, you know, come on, but, or at least taking that, he know y'all going through something, okay, let me, capitalize on that. You know, that's not okay to me. But yeah, if one of my homeboys come up on one of mine, it's cool. It's just, no, we not about to be hanging out like that no more. I know what it is. Now I got to get you back. Now I got to come run up in you. Now I got to run off with all of yours. Cause that'd be my intention. You know? I'm not just trying to get the bitch back. I'm trying to run through your whole household now.
Gotcha.
You know?
When you talk about game, when it comes to the hoes or whatever, like, what is it that most of them looking for when you spin your game? Is it that they want bags and stuff and you promising them what a normal dude in real life would promise? Like, what do a hoe want versus a square woman?
The truth. The honest to God, unfiltered truth. You know? Because most niggas ain't gonna tell a bitch the truth. Most niggas ain't gonna keep it real. You know, and somebody to accept her for who she is and love her for who she is. You know, a square nigga, he might knock that bitch at the strip club and, you know, he praising her and buying her flowers and telling her how beautiful she is and all that. But as soon as she do something to piss him off, she all kind of dirty bitches and sluts and fucking whore and all this other shit, you know? She wants somebody that's gonna respect the choices that she made in life, to be in the lifestyle that she's in, you know, and really genuinely appreciate. That's why this ain't for everybody. Because you could pretend only for so long. You could pretend like it's cool, like you cool with your bitch going out and doing this for only so long. You know, if it's not genuine, it's gonna seep through, you gonna show. You know what I'm saying? And so she want a man to be honest with her and tell her the truth. You know, if he got another bitch, tell her. Hey man, I got something else on, you know, I got another woman. You know, I got 2 more women and 3 more women. Don't lie about it. You know, a lot of times niggas gonna lie because they don't want her to leave. Well, let her make that choice.
Yeah.
Don't keep it from her and then expect her to fuck around, make a choice to stay with you on the limited information that you're giving her. You know, that's like, you know, better than a scammer or, you know, a con artist. You know, you just conning her into thinking you somebody that you not. If you got 2 or 3 other bitches, let her know. If you looking for a new one, let her know. You know, and that's where the respect come in. That's where you become elite, you know, because you're gonna tell her the truth, you know, and accept her for who she is and hope that she accepts you for who you are, you know? That's what she really looking for, because she don't care about the money. I mean, yeah, everybody want nice things, but if she really cared about the money, she wouldn't give it to nobody.
So what does she really care about? Is it for her, a relationship for her? Like, what is it? What is it that they want or get out of actually doing it?
Yeah, I mean, of course the money's involved. Of course, you need money to live.
For sure.
So no, they don't want to go to the 9 to 5 and get a little bullshit ass paycheck. You know, they want to get bands and bags. They want to go on trips. They want to you know, they want to do all the things that come with the luxuries of having money. You know, but it's about having somebody that you could depend on, that you could count on. It's about having somebody that understands you. It's about having somebody that's going to give you advice and set you in the right direction. You know, that's gonna help you maximize, the choices that you're making.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. That's what they doing. That's what they really looking for in a man anyway, is somebody that's gonna let her be her. Cause you gotta, a lot of people think this niggas trying to control and all this shit. If you trying to control this bitch, you got it you just a control freak. Everything. Some people are just control freaks and I don't got nothing to do with this game. You got husbands that's control freaks,
It's true.
So it's not really about controlling. It's about letting her be her and let her make her own decisions, but also, being like the, when the kids go bowling.
Yeah.
And they got the bumpers. I'm gonna let you throw the ball. I'm gonna let you bowl, but I'll be them bumpers to make sure that you don't end up in the gutter.
Damn, that's real. Now, P's that have like kids, babies by they O's, is it usually your bottom is that most of them, like, I'm trying to understand the family dynamic when one of the hoes have a pimp kid. And do pimps want their kids in the game?
I don't have any kids, so that's not my area of expertise.
Gotcha.
I could just tell you what I think. I don't necessarily, the whole bottom thing is like relative, It's but if you do have a baby, if you really some ism and you do have a baby, it should be by somebody that's in the game, your woman, And when it comes to those family dynamics, I know me, I wouldn't push this lifestyle on no child. I wouldn't say, you got kids 4, 5 years old throwing up gang signs. Like, if I was a gang member, I wouldn't push that life on no child. If I was a lawyer, I wouldn't push that on no child. A doctor, I wouldn't make a child feel like they're supposed to be anything.
Yeah.
I would let them kind of choose the path that they want to go. So yes, it would be a lot of things that they wouldn't see.
Well, I understand like a child, but let's just say like kids are now 16, 17, 18, and they kind of now aware of the world, and they realize like, okay, daddy's a pimp. Do you come out and say, well, Leah, your mom is a prostitute. This is what she do. This is what the family business is. Because I understand, like me, I play ball,
right?
But I don't want my son to play football,
right?
And so I understand that whole concept, but the pimping whole world is still kind of taboo to mainstream,
right?
So how do you think you would introduce that to your kids for the first time?
I mean, I don't believe you should lie to your children.
Yeah.
Like I said, once they get old enough and mature enough to have that conversation, I would keep it a buck with them.
Yeah.
I would tell them the truth, But I wouldn't glorify it in a way where they felt like that's what they're supposed to be. If that's what they chose to be involved in, I would support any decision they make. If they want to be a janitor for a living, I love them the same. But, and that's not disrespect to janitors or anything. I'm just saying, whatever they want to do in life, you generally want to support your children. But yeah, I would keep it a buck and tell them exactly what it is and explain it to them and break down exactly what it is, instead of just talking about the glorified points, the mainstream glorified points, the nigga with the money and the bitches saying yes, daddy, and nigga got, it's deeper than that. It's not just that. That's a part of it, but it's not just that, And I would make sure that whatever they did, if they did want to get involved in it, they would be genuine,
Yeah.
It's a lot of people, they think shit about manipulation. It's about manipulating somebody. It's about taking advantage of an inferior mind or something. And that's not it. It's about, if this is the choices that they making, the lifestyle that they choosing, it's about being a genuine back for them. A genuine partner with them, a genuine, having genuine intentions, not trying to get over, but making sure that they are getting the things that they want and need out of this life, and making sure that they are going about things the right way, you know, and respecting their choices, even if it's them wanting to leave you, you know? A lot of times, you know, a bitch will want to leave a nigga and all of a sudden, you know, he get to doing all kind of crazy shit to try to make her stay. You know, that's like, no, she's an adult. She should be an adult because she shouldn't have no minors, right? So she's an adult. Let her be free to make her choices, whatever she want to do.
So let's break down some stereotypes because if, first of all, if you was president and you had the power to federally make sex work legal, would you?
Absolutely.
Okay, got you.
It would be so much safer that way. It would be, you know, because now you could, it would just be safer that way. You know, it's just the same thing as I don't understand this. A woman could go to, we're in Dallas right now, so a woman could go to a Dallas Mavericks game right now. And after the game, she could go in the locker room and she could fuck every single basketball player on that team. They could just run a big old train on them. Shout out to the Mavericks. That's okay. Perfectly legal. Now, she'd tell each one of them, hey, I don't have any money to get home. Can you give me $1 for a cab? Right? If he give her $1, she says, I'm not gonna have sex with you unless you give me this $1 so I could get me some money to get a ride home. He give her this $1, it's a misdemeanor.
No more. That's a felony here.
Okay. Well, okay, different laws, right? That's a felony. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she doesn't call a cab afterwards, right? And she calls me and says, hey, can you come pick me up? And I say, I ain't got no gas, you know, in my car. She said, I got some gas money for you. That's human trafficking. Crazy.
It's wild.
This woman is using her body for entertainment. The same way you could go to the UFC and beat the shit out of somebody. They're using their body for entertainment. Boxing, football, basketball, all these, and I'm not comparing sex to a sport, although it could be, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it could be, you know, but I'm just saying that why are you okay to have sex with somebody, to get paid to have sex with somebody on film? That's okay. No problem there. You know, we call that porn.
Yeah.
But if you don't turn the camera on, it's prostitution.
Damn.
You know, so yes, I would 100% legalize it. And it would be safer because now women, you know, they could regularly, you know, because if I were president, you know, I would make them to where they have to get mandatory checks. You know, they would be able to, and I'm not really a fan of law enforcement, but if something were to go down, you know, they would have more protection than just their family and friends. You know, they can't, it's really hard to, you know, go to somebody, you know, you could have these businesses where there is security and it's blatant and it's open and there's security there, you know, and the women are protected, you know, versus, you know, having to just sneak around the streets.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just like a drug dealer trying to call the cops on somebody who just stole his drugs.
Right,
right. There's no protection for that.
Right, and I don't encourage anybody to call the police, but I'm just saying, if you turn it into a legit business, you could scale it in a legit way.
How would you combat, though, like actual sex trafficking that really do exist? Like, how do you legitimate, because like what a lot of people think is like, if you legalize sex work, then all it does is just make sex trafficking all the bigger. So how do you legalize it?
It doesn't make it bigger because people that choose to be in that life are going to be in that life.
Yeah.
Regardless. Like, you have certain women that they could be living under a bridge. They're not going to sell no pussy. It's just not in them to do it. You have some women that's just not going to live that life. There's certain women that, yes, circumstance will push them to go do it and then they'll get out of it. And some of them that really want to be in this life and be the best at it. you know, and they're proud of that. So it's like the people that's going to be in it. Now, if it's legal, you know, you could have paperwork on everybody. You could have documents on everybody. So now these people that got these minors running around, you know, it'll be easier to point out the illegal spots. Yeah. It'll be easier to point out the people that's not supposed to be doing this. You know, people that was shipped over in containers, you know, that don't have U.S. visas and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, because it's legal. So why don't you have a business license? Why don't you have your hoe card or what?
Yeah, no, that's real.
You know, but I'm saying, like, you know, it'll be easier to identify the actual victims of human trafficking versus the women that are doing this by choice.
And you get to see you can tell if they keeping out their exams. It's a lot more that comes
exactly
with it for
so
sure.
They would be able to separate the human traffickers from the hoes. You know what I'm saying? From the people that's genuinely trying to make it. They choosing to be in that life versus somebody who's being forced to be in that life.
Now that homosexuality is becoming more open, more common, being more accepted in mainstream now, are P's getting trans women and I guess dudes too, and putting them out on the blade or online and stuff like that? Have you came across that?
I mean, I personally don't know anybody that has. I mean, I feel like it's like anything, you know, if that's what you gravitating to, then, you know, you don't necessarily have to be in the game. You know, if a nigga want to rock like that, he gonna rock like that, whether you got the girl or boy or whatever down or not, you know?
Yo.
So it's like, I'm sure there's plenty of niggas that got niggas down, you know, working the blade, just like niggas that got women down working the blade, you know? But I don't personally, I don't know anybody that's like got both, you know? Yeah. I don't know anybody that's like, oh yeah, them is my bitches and them is my niggas. Like, you know?
But could you, let's say, here it is, you legalized it.
Right.
So now you can have this corporation, you can have this variety. Would you get into both?
Me personally? No, just because I gotta be passionate about whatever I'm doing. Mm. So, you know, I wouldn't necessarily be passionate about that. Just like I wouldn't, if I was a club owner, right? I necessarily wouldn't own a gay club. You know, not that there's anything wrong with a gay club. I just feel like somebody that's passionate about that life, you know, would run it better than I would. They would know what they would want and need better than I would.
All right. So let's say Silky's, that's the corporation. It's a Fortune, because sex work is legal.
Right. Fortune 500.
You're a Fortune 500 corporation. So now you're CEO or you're on the board.
Right.
So you're just looking at the money and how can we expand? Are we making money?
Right,
now, do you bring in people on all sides of sexuality then to run sectors like this dude run niggas, you run
absolutely. If we just having a board meeting, we would have people from all walks of life.
Got you.
You know, because, you know, you run that department, you run that department, you run that department. You know, I don't see no problem with that. I'm just saying, me being hands-on, you know, I wouldn't know where to even, I wouldn't be the best fit for that job.
Got you.
You know? But yeah, I don't got no problem doing business with, you know, I don't discriminate with people.
I want to run a scenario by you that recently happened in Dallas. So, like last year, a 15-year-old girl was kidnapped from the Dallas Mavericks game. Mm. She went to the game with her dad. I guess went to the bathroom, never came back. So they got the guys on camera who took the girl, or who she left with. Not necessarily took, because it wasn't like they snatched her. She walked away with her.
I was going to ask that, because I'm like, how you get kidnapped, like just out of bathroom at a game?
Right.
But, so she willingly walked out.
She really walked out with him. And so, I guess a year later, they was looking on some type of escort site, and they saw her on there. Mm-hmm. She been, I guess, in Oklahoma. So they set up a sting. Mm-hmm. They find the girl. They get her back. I guess they arrest 2 out of the 3 dudes that was on the camera.
Right.
Now, walk me through the mind. Number one, why would they want a 15-year-old girl? Number two, I'm banking on that they already knew this girl was already talking to her.
Right.
For her to just comfortably leave. And is the game so good that she with her dad and he was like, you know what? That sounds like a great time. I'm walking with y'all.
Right.
Like, what do you think happened in that scenario?
I don't know what happened because I don't even know. I didn't even read about this or nothing. What I can say is that for one, you should never have a minor.
Yeah.
You know, yes, I believe in choice and a woman's choice to do what she want to do, but you know, when you 15, 16, you don't even have your own identity yet. You know, it's like, you know, let this person grow up and be an adult so she can make adult decisions.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of times, you know, if she a minor, she can't really make certain decisions. She can't just leave you because where's she gonna go? She can't just go rent a hotel room or, you know, book her own plane ticket or, you know, it can't, you know, so it's like, niggas should leave minors alone. One, a lot of niggas I feel like they fuck with minors because they ain't got no game for no grown woman.
Mm.
You know? So they have to talk to people who are, you know, on the same level as them. If you out here with a 15-year-old or 16-year-old, it's probably because mentally you're like a 15 or 16-year-old. Because what could you even have in common? You know? Why would they choose a basketball game? Who knows? She might not have told them that she was at the game with her dad. You know? She might have told them to meet her at the game and she was gonna leave with him. You know, if she knew him beforehand. You know, they might not even know how old she was. You know, because if a nigga don't do his due diligence, you know, some of these girls, they look grown.
Yeah.
You have to get that ID, that valid ID, maybe even the birth certificate. You know, maybe even call her mama. Hey, call your mama right now. I want to talk to her. You know, because yeah, when I was in that life, man, I not accepting nobody without ID.
Yeah.
You know, because she could, you know, if she's 16, 15, 16, she could be lying.
That's
you
real.
know, they do that. So maybe them niggas didn't know that she was a minor until they already had her. Maybe they never found out until they got caught up. Maybe they knew, and if they knew, they just some most scumbag piece of shit motherfuckers, and they should. Whatever happened to them, happened to them. You know, I don't got no love for that, because you gonna take this girl from a game while she with her dad, and you know, I don't care if she home, whatever she doing. Like, you don't do that to no kid. That she's still a kid.
Now, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and say they don't know how old she was.
Right.
What type of time do you think they're facing?
Shit, probably all day.
Damn.
You know, cause you talking about like kidnapping, you know, child endangerment, fucking human trafficking, and they gonna prosecute. They want people who got kids. They want people who's fucking with children, and they're fucking with violent people.
Yeah.
You know, so if you have minors involved and you're a violent person, if you know, those are the people that they want the most. I'm sure they trying to lock up everybody, but you know, it's certain people, you know, they got to prioritize. So yeah, they want the ones that got the minors first. They gonna prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
Do you agree with that? Because we know we're in a world where like people are like, well, I don't never want the police involved.
Right. I mean, I don't wish jail on them niggas. You know, I wish. I just don't give a fuck what happened to them if you got minors. Now, it also depends on how old them niggas is. You know, them niggas 18, 19, you know?
What, they in their 30s?
Oh, yeah, come on, nigga, you know better.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about an 18-year-old. You know, if this nigga 18 and he got a 16-year-old, you know, he was probably just in high school with her last year.
Facts.
You know, so he might not mentally understand that, you know, he's an adult now and this can't happen. You know, so I don't necessarily look at it, nigga, this is a terrible, terrible mistake. And, you know, you got, as a man, you got to deal with what come with it. But I don't necessarily look at them like a pedophile the way I would look at a nigga that's, you know, in his late 20s, early 30s, you know, and up, you know, dealing with a minor, nigga. You just something about that little shit you like.
So we live in a world that right now, when you look on Instagram, everything is visual, right? Everybody getting BBLs, everybody, all the women are pushing to get the perfect body, the perfect look. Majority of the pictures that you see, they all naked. What percentage of women you think are actually prostitutes now? When you look at social media.
My definition of prostitution is anybody that uses sexuality for money.
That's deep.
So to me, you don't have to sell pussy to be a prostitute. You don't have to suck dick or physically make a man come in order to be a prostitute. If you taking pictures and you selling them and you know this nigga jacking off to him, you some hoeing, you know?
What if she not even selling them? Let's just say she posting reels, but majority of her posts is her shaking ass, showing
Is
ass.
she getting paid for them reels?
Nah, she just... I mean, well, Instagram paying for reels now, so
Okay. So if she getting paid, if this is a source of income and she knows, because she gonna know, she gonna be smart enough to know, hey, you know, when I just post a picture of me and my mom out, not that many people like my shit and comment, but when I posted me shaking my ass, I get a lot of likes and comments and you know, my checks start getting bigger. You know, that's prostitution to me. That's my definition.
So likes and comments is now currency.
Well, if you getting paid for them.
Got you.
You know, the majority of them bitches, if you see, they got an OnlyFans, whether they active on it or not.
That's true.
You know, if they out there half naked shaking their ass, it's to click the link in my bio. So, you know, that's definitely hoeing to me. You know, if she's just doing it for free, then she's not hoeing. She just, you know, doing it for free. You know, if she just likes to just put ass and titties on the camera and not get paid for it. You know, I don't think that's the wisest move, but, you know, live your life.
Hey, for sure. Now, congratulations to you. You won P of the Year. I didn't even know PimpHop balls. You know what? I always thought that was a myth.
Mm-hmm.
But it's real. Like, can a square come? Like, can I get like a +1 and just go and see what they...
Yeah, if you buy a ticket.
Oh, so it's open. Everybody can come.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So it's like the Grammys for the P's.
I mean, I don't want people to take this out of context. But look at the people who's throwing the events. You know, when the last time you think they really was active having bitches like that?
Yeah.
So is it really, is it a party celebrating the game? Or is it an actual, like, this is what we do? You get what I'm saying?
So it's more of a celebration.
Yeah, it's just a party.
Gotcha.
It's a celebration, you know, with a theme to it, you know, but everybody, I'd have been to players' balls and seen, you know, all kind of people there.
Yeah.
You know, Snoop, Drake dad, like, you know, I done been to, you know, it's a lot of niggas that's not necessarily in the game to show up to them events, you know? And, you know, they might like it, you know, you might enjoy it, you might want to come and enjoy it and you know, get suited and booted for that night, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, it's not a closed event. It's not a closed event.
Got you. Now, what is the ambience like? Is it food? Is it drinks? Is it music? Like, what is it?
It just depends on who, you know, it changes year to year, but usually it's just a club, just at a club, you know, I don't really remember eating, having no food there like that. You know, it's just alcohol, definitely.
Got you.
You know, music, you know, just a camaraderie, you know, just chopping it up, hanging out, you know, meeting some of the people that you might have heard about, you know, but haven't got a chance to really get with, you know,
yeah.
and you know, just having a good time. You know, sometimes it's just at a regular club. Sometimes I've been at events where it was just booked at a regular club and niggas just basically just had a section that night, you know?
Got you. Now, is it the voting for, you know, P of the Year? Is it a board? How do they put the names in the hats, like who they gonna celebrate? And do you know beforehand, like, you nominated?
I don't know, because I've never voted, you know, so I don't really know what the process is. I don't really know how they come up on, you know, deciding who gets what and who's, who they gonna get a championship to. I was blessed. Kenny Red gave me my award, 2022. The last award he gave before he passed away. Rest in peace. Yeah, so that's real special to me.
Gotcha.
And I don't think he I know he had a very big input on why they gave it to me. And I appreciate everybody that went along with it and approved it and all that. But I don't think the criteria was, he it's not about having money or not a bunch of bitches or nothing like that. I think he was just, they like the way I carried myself. They like the way I represent the game. And, they just wanted to shine some light on me and felt like it was my time to receive an award. Because when I was really down, I would have never even accepted that award.
Hell no.
But I wanted it.
Yeah.
But and I felt like I deserved it. There was a couple times I felt like, nigga, y'all niggas know who the fuck I am. Nigga, what I'm saying? It was a couple times I done went to a couple players ball. I remember my first players ball I went to was in Hollywood, man, and I was probably like 19 at the time. And all I remember, I had to get some black gaiters. I had this purple suit, this purple pinstripe suit, and I needed some gaiters. I ain't never had no gaiters before in my life. So it's the day of the players ball, I'm at the fucking Fox Hills Mall, 'cause I don't even know where to get no gaiters.
Yeah.
I'm at the Fox Hills Mall, and I find a spot, and they got some black gaiters. I say, cool. But they only got a size 9. I wear 10 and a half.
Ooh.
They had a 9 and a half. So I'm like, but he like, they gonna stretch. The nigga trying to sell me. They gonna stretch this, that, and the other. I put them on. They felt a little tight, but they wasn't like crazy. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna take these. I think I paid like $850 for them or something. I went to the players ball and man, my feet was hurting so fucking bad. But I felt like I deserved a trophy. I felt like I deserved some recognition. That was my first players ball. I was only 19 years old, but I felt like I was doing some big old hell of a motherfucking shit. And I'm on Sunset afterwards, and we at the hanging out where we used to hang out at, and I said, yeah, nigga, I deserved a motherfucking trophy tonight. And the nigga Pimp and Young looked at me and said, nigga, you been drinking that alligator piss. You got to stay down, Silk. And I didn't understand because I thought I was doing some big old hell of a shit. I'm having money, I'm buying shit, my bitch is down, I'm doing it better than a lot of niggas that was a lot older than me.
Yeah.
Better than most niggas, everybody that was my age at the time. At least in Hollywood. And I felt like I deserved it, but it's something that you got to fuck around and put the time in and put, it's like, anybody could have a cool run for a couple years. You get niggas thinking they motherfucking God because they didn't had a cool little 3, 4, 5 year run, Okay, now what? What you gonna do when that run over with?
In your height, what's the most chicks you had at one time?
I don't really want to speak on that.
Got to. Into the music, bro. You doing your thing with the music. You and Rollo collabed on a lot of stuff, man. Like, talk about where you at right now with the music, what you got going on.
Right now, I'm excited like a motherfucker because me and Rollo doing an album called Book of Kings. And it's something, it's special because it happened for real. Like, he dope as a motherfucker at what he do. I'm dope as a motherfucker at what I do. And every time we do something together, people love it. The game loves it. But me and him actually have created a friendship, a genuine friendship. The album didn't just happen for music purposes. The album happened because we really fuck with each other.
Yeah.
And that's making the music, the shit that we got right now, that's making it so much doper. That's making it so much better. The music is out of here. It's out of this world. It's about to be the greatest album about the game that ever existed. And that's no disrespect to anybody that rap about this game, but you could put this album up against anything as far as game-wise, as far as the game, it ain't gonna be nothing fucking with it. Not before, and not for a while, unless we do another one. Book of Kings.
I see y'all working, man. Like I like the whole what you call it, PimpHop. Because like y'all still put a lot of thought into y'all videos.
Yeah.
It's still concepts. Y'all focus on like putting the best on, man. Like y'all are really into the whole entertainment value from the visuals to the audio, all of it.
Right.
You don't see that in real hip hop no more. Everything is kind of like a run and gun shoot, one location, girl just shake some ass. Y'all like really kind of put together cinematic type of experiences when you watch y'all shit.
Yeah, because it's because everything we do, man, got to be fly. Yeah. You know, I tell niggas all the time, like, man, why you don't shoot a bunch of videos? And I'm like, because I can't just pull the Chief Keef in my grandma's living room with a bunch of niggas with their shirt off just jumping around. Like, nigga, nobody, like, I need to put some thought into it. My videos got to be damn near movies.
For sure.
You know, because we got to give you a video. But we're also aware that, like you said, you had no idea that this world existed. So I'm also aware that people outside of the game, they need a visual that's gonna help them interpret the music.
It makes sense
because it's a different language, a language that's we're speaking. You know, we're speaking in a different language. So when I put a visual to things, I kind of want to, you know, give people a translation through the visual.
For sure.
You know,
I want to end with this because I know a lot of PEs. Can you be a P and be a square? Does that exist?
No.
Because we seen Sugar Free. Well, we know you're not I'm not gonna say you're a P9, but Sugar Free got married. But I think he's going through a divorce right after he got married. I might be wrong. But like when y'all heard Sugar Free getting married, like what was your mindset when you heard that?
If he's happy, I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
You know, that's not necessarily the direction that I ever thought he would go. That's not a direction that I believe I would ever go in. You know, but at the end of the day, I don't pay nobody bills. You know, nobody else's bills. I don't. Whatever nigga want to do to make him happy, I'm okay with it. I'm really good at minding my own business.
Gotcha. So no marriage for you.
I just don't. I don't see the point in it.
Or let's not say legal marriage, but Shannon Sharp said something the other day because he ain't never been married either. But he's like, now that he's 55. I got all the wealth. I got everything. You said,
who said this?
Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp.
He said, I got all the wealth. Well, what's the point of having all of this stuff if you don't have nobody to share it with?
Right, and I agree with 100%. I just don't see why we got to go down to the courthouse and sign paperwork. I feel like that's a bad business decision. Now, if I roll over 20 years from now and bitch, you still here, like we're together.
Yeah.
You know what? Like I just. You want to have a part where it's about the ceremony, about the inviting everybody to make this quote unquote. If they get rid of, if divorces become illegal, I would believe in marriage a lot more.